What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kev. We got Chris and Elijah, and coming back for the second time in a row, our boy G. Say what's up to everybody.
What's going on?
What's up? Say what's up, the fans and all that. So today we are going to review Jurassic Park 1 and 2, not just the movies, but also the books. Because next week, Jurassic World Rebirth is coming out. We're also going to review that. But we wanted to go over what we noticed, the difference between movie and books. And a lot of crazy stuff has happened that they changed that they couldn't bring from the books to the movies. And as a kid growing up, whenever I had to do a book report, I was like, I'll just watch the movie. I'm not going to read the book. What's wrong with y'all? I don't have time for that. But it's important that you read, kids, because it's a lot different from the movie. They cut stuff out, add stuff in.
80%.
80%
was definitely different from the book.
My book reports were horrible. Like, the grades was horrible.
Like, I didn't know that the Vikings were from Ireland.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
I want to apologize to everybody who I offended. I'm sorry.
We started early.
But nobody ever corrected me on that growing up. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where they're from. Vikings, and I guess
They're from all over.
They're all
They're
over.
from all over.
I guess they're not Irish. So, but you know, cool background story had it been. You know, I don't know. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I apologize. But with that being said, we're gonna get right into it. Chris, do you want to go, or Greg, do you want to go? We'll start with the movies, I guess.
Okay.
Fine with that.
I recently just, and so did Greg, recently just rewatched the first movie, and a lot of things that I've noticed, not only because of the book, but also because the last time I saw Jurassic Park, I was about like maybe 6 years old. So
That's the last time you watched the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. So this is like a whole new.
I think I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I just
when I
watched
first saw
that
it.
movie a month, and then 3 months. I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan, so I just
Check out his shirt.
Yeah,
it doesn't say pickles.
1 of 30. Wow.
we airdropping.
Wow.
Everybody.
Wow. Yeah, if you go back 2 videos ago, I'm wearing a shirt that says I love to eat pickles. No diddy. Long story short, I went to Five Below, was trying to buy an Aaliyah shirt. I just grabbed it. The guy at the counter knew it wasn't Aaliyah. He said, "Oh, you want this shirt?" I said, "Yeah, it's Aaliyah. It's Aaliyah shirt. You know, showing appreciation." He looked at the shirt. He looked at me, and he said, "If you say so," and then let me pay for it. I put on the shirt before I came here to do the podcast, and next thing I know, I put the shirt on. My daughter looks at me and she says, "Daddy, that's not Aaliyah." And I look down, and it's Snooki saying, "I love to eat pickles." So, if you go back 2 videos ago, you will see me wearing a shirt that says pickles, and you see Snooki right there.
I see you trying to cover up a shirt that says
yes.
Snooki.
Oh, yes.
Pickles.
I was heated. It was not recorded, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. But the behind the scenes, man. As a matter of fact, the video, just so that y'all can go rewatch, is How to Train Your Dragon, which was really good. You guys should double check that for the little Easter eggs, as far as like, you know, T-shirts and little jokes right there. But back to Jurassic Park.
We starting off early.
Jurassic Park the original movie, not Jurassic World. We're talking about Jurassic Park. It came out in the early 90s. I believe it's 93, if I'm correct. You're right. Yeah. 93. That movie, all right, in comparison between that movie and other movies of that time that were any dinosaur or monster or horror, or even if you were to compare it to Star Wars when they finished the first trilogy and they kind of brought in episode 1, 2, and 3 during that time, the CGI that they used in Jurassic Park was groundbreaking. It was something that you just could not really find at that time in other movies. I think the only thing that really came close to it, you could say, would be Alien, maybe Predator, but they didn't even touch the surface of what they did. Some parts you can nitpick. Actually, you can't even nitpick now. Basically, you can't. Just the scene when they arrive at Jurassic Park.
It's the same concept as what we were talking about with A New Hope.
Yes.
Star Wars. For the time period, with what we got, I think was excellent.
Yeah,
that was a Spielberg production, if I'm not mistaken. So that right there, you already knew it was going to be good.
And then they used animatronics. Not everything was CGI. So that's all. That was another groundbreaking thing to see animatronics being used when the up close scenes dealing with the T-Rex, dealing with the Triceratops, dealing with the Raptors. The up close were animatronics. And I'm pretty sure we're probably missing another one that was an animatronic too. But
the long necked.
No.
That was CGI.
That was CGI.
That was all CGI.
The one that spreads out his thing.
Yes.
Poison. I don't know what it's called.
Dilophosaurus. Yeah.
A long, complicated name.
Yes, it is. And interesting fact: they do not actually have thrills, and they do not spit out venom. It says it in the book, and it says they do it in the movie. That is inaccurate. They do not have neither one of those things. Yeah. But they
in
are
the
tall.
Book, they said they bit. They were biters,
yes,
right? Like snakes.
But they are tall and they are vicious. I saw a skeleton of one and it scared the mess out of me. Those things are vicious. But yeah, back to the movie. In my personal opinion, I saw that movie. I was born in 91. I saw that movie in 96. I remember it was the first movie that I saw that was even close to being scary. I saw it, watched it 3 more times, went to bed that night, did not sleep for probably about a good week. I did not sleep. But what did I do? Continue to rewatch that movie over and over. And I still did not sleep. But I could immediately tell I think this is real. Because just how it looked. At the time, I did see Predator. That did not scare me. I thought that was amazing as a kid.
Oh, no, that was excellent.
I thought it was a Jamaican dude. Yeah. My whole life, dude. I thought it was a Jamaican guy.
Oh, my God.
I thought it was a Jamaican.
Wait, hold on. Even after he takes the mask off at the end of the film,
he still had locks.
Yeah, he still had
crazy.
Yeah.
So, I thought the mask that shows his face, I thought that was a mask. I was like, oh, wow. But, yeah.
But, my favorite thing today, actually, I'll say the last 10 years, because I've seen this movie, I lie to you not, over 500 times I've seen this movie. What I came to appreciate now being older is the whole entire plot of the movie. There's not many movies, especially the rest of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies, where the whole entire plot is interesting. You are hearing John Hammond talk about this park, how much he really cares about it. It's like a kid. It's like his baby. And he's basically talking about how much he loves it. No expense, no nothing. But yet, no expense, but your gate's only 10,000 volts.
Yeah, they said it was like...
Dude.
Yeah.
10,000 volts is nothing.
To stop by Tyrannosaurus.
A police freaking taser can go up to 50,000 volts. What's 10 doing?
Especially because
and then you're expecting 10,000 volts to stop a T-Rex.
A T-Rex.
It's like, okay,
buddy.
Good luck with that.
But this movie was amazing. It was amazing, and it took a while for a movie to even come close to touching the way it looked, the way it felt. It
was so well done, though.
Yes.
So well done.
And then even the parts where they made the T-Rex look menacing. I lie to you not. Since a kid, even to this point today.
That's when it was real.
When Alan pulls the flare and he yells, hey, and they got the T-Rex to scream. I remember as a kid I still remember when I saw it as a kid the first time, and it just screams, and it's just a flare for the reflection. I pissed myself immediately. I was just like, holy crap.
Yeah. Well,
even now, just looking at it scream, I'm just like, dude,
it's so lifelike though. It's so fucking lifelike. It really is.
That part had me. The part in the chase scene with the T-Rex had me, because I would be, what's her name? Ellie? I would be her yelling.
I think a lot of people would.
Yes.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would.
Yeah. But what did you think about the first movie?
We watching it again. It was amazing. The Triceratops animation, or not animation, the
breathing.
The breathing.
Yeah.
How much work did it take for them to? Because they gotta build it, right? And they gotta build it, and then it has to work. You've seen so many animatronics, Jurassic. Jaws, and pretty much
another
everything
great
else.
film.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just to see it work, like rewatching it as an adult now, it's kind of like, wow, that's crazy. It's an actual animatronic that looks believable, like looks real. Like I could see it being like just like a dog right here, just breathing regular. The whole movie, I laughed at a good couple of parts, because I'm like when Timmy, when they climb over the gate, the electric gate, and it turns on, right? That's not funny. I'm not laughing at that. He could have died. But when he got to the cafeteria or the lunchroom, wherever they were, when Alan got them in there, and his hair was in a poof, and he just looked so drained. he didn't care about nothing. He said, "I want to eat," and
they're eating at the buffet, and then writers break into the room. And
the reason why I laugh at that, because my little daughter Leia, when she sleeps like that, and her hair just gets all fuzzy, and they're just like, I'm drained, and I don't know what's in front of me. I don't know what's going on. They just aimlessly walking to grab something. I just looked at it and said, my man went through it. He got electrocuted, dude. 10,000 volts. I guess it isn't strong enough if a little kid is able to survive.
Well, you remember they had to resuscitate him.
They had to resuscitate him.
They had to resuscitate him.
But it wasn't enough to take him out.
No.
Yeah,
It didn't take him out.
I'm surprised how little burn damage, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you know somebody get electrocuted,
He
burn,
was
like,
smoking.
they got, he was smoking, but like,
That boy was cooked.
yeah, I'll be honest, that scene for me was tense.
Yes.
Even rewatching, I was like, bro, get off the fence, get off the fence.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm not getting off the fence.
All you had to do was just jump.
Yeah, it's like the dude would catch it.
That's still questionable.
Yeah, like, are you really going to catch me? Can you catch me?
I got you. He falls.
It's like, dude, either you jump and possibly break your leg, or you get hit with 10,000 volts. It's like,
yeah, and then you still fall.
yeah.
Like,
When the alarm is going off, it's kind of like it's a warning. It's telling you to get off the fence.
I'm letting go.
And then it was a couple of other ones. But that movie, man, it was great. As far as like, and we'll get into about the book. As far as like when the lawyer, which I like about the book, and what I didn't like about the movie. As far as the lawyer, when he left them in the car, he ran to the bathroom. And as a kid, I was like, why would you run to the bathroom? That thing is out, right? It just chucked over a goat's leg. The bathroom ain't going to save you. Climb a tree or something. At 6 years old, I said, no, climb a tree. Climb.
I'll be honest, I might have clapped a little bit when he got his dues. Like,
you abandoned two kids.
you abandoned two kids. You deserve to get eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild. He deserved that.
He was
every last
screaming
bit.
to you. He was like, ah.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus!
All you see is a T-Rex head, and the rest is done.
And even that is amazing, because that's CGI, but it looked so real.
Yes.
Of him getting chopped and then raggled around for the time period.
That's
for
insane.
that to look good.
That's insane.
Right.
For 93. Like
90 years.
you guys got to really look at what came out in that. I can't. I'm not taking this one away from him. But the movies that came out around 93, just look at 91, 92, 93, and 94. Just take a look and see what came out, and you will see why that film, and that's another thing, what it grossed in theater alone for release. That's not talking about over a period of time on VHS, DVD.
That was a big deal back then.
The 30-year edition, the 40-year edition. The amount of money that movie made is insane. Still today, people are buying the copies and all that and renting them. That movie's making.
Well, I mean, think about how much they also made in merchandise.
Oh,
yes.
Just based off of merchandise.
That pissed me off because I never got so all those things that you saw when they were in the scene with Ellie and Hammond, they were sitting down eating, talking about the park and everything like that. All that stuff you saw, that merchandise, that was real merchandise. Yeah. All that stuff was in stores. That stuff at the time period is going to sound cheap now, but back then you got to understand the value of money.
Yeah.
Those lunch boxes were going for $20.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Remember the pajama sets? Those are like $13. Like they were expensive, man. And I remember seeing them in Kmart. I remember seeing them in.
You remember how much the action toys cost? They were like going for like $40 a pop.
Oh, they were straight up Christmas presents, man.
Yeah, because you had those like variety packs. You know, I remember getting the one with the what was it? The Jeep.
Yes.
Open top Jeep, and then you had the 2 passengers and all that. I mean, that wasn't cheap.
Stuff was not cheap.
No.
That stuff was not.
I was like 6-7 years old. I don't really know what the cost was, but I assume it was in the 40s or in the $40 range, which it wasn't cheap.
That was not cheap. No. Now today to say that, I can't.
Yeah, I mean, that's like
But back then that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but that was considered high quality toys back then.
Yes.
I mean, look at what they have now compared to what we had back then. I mean, dude, we had some molded pieces of plastic that were painted on with like.
And they last too, man. My Power Rangers.
And now, you've got all these toys that just
do everything.
Under the hell. They pilot themselves nowadays. You don't even have to like do any of that. But it's like it's crazy seeing how much.
Now, what kind of dated the movie? Because of what you just said, what dated the movie was when Timmy. They're waiting for the T-Rex. It was raining. He got the glasses, right? Remember?
Yes.
Are they heavy?
Yes.
Then put them back. You know they were expensive.
Yep.
So I was like, as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, yes, that's true. That is so true. Oh, my God.
If
but
it's heavy, it's expensive. If it's light, it's not.
What did you think? Like, what was your favorite parts?
To kind of comment on what or agree with what Kev was saying as far as scenes that made me laugh was when Timmy meets the paleontologist for the first time and he is talking and talking his ear off. The dude keeps trying to switch cars and the kid's still following him. He's got his book. He's like, your book ain't as big as this other dude's book. The other one had pictures too. Yours was just kind of like boring and all that. And he's still following him between cars. He was in the paleontologist. I can't remember his name. It was Grant, I think.
Yeah.
He just looks at Timmy and he was like, "Wait, so what car are you riding in?" Just shoves him into the Jeep, slams the door shut, and then he just goes right to the other one.
And then what's her name?
Lex.
Lex comes up, and she's like. She told me that you want me to sit in the car with you because something. And he just looked at her, and I was just like, yo, she drawing. Like, trying to pin a kid on me. I don't want no kids, all right?
I got to say, though, my favorite actor, at least in the first film, was Muldoon.
Oh, yeah, Muldoon.
Yes, Muldoon.
Love Muldoon. I hadn't seen the movie in so long. I was like, wait, I can't remember. Is this dude the bad guy, or is he the good guy? I'm like, is he somewhere in the middle? I couldn't remember. But then as the movie was going, I was like, oh, that's right. He is a good guy.
Yeah. The bad guy, I guess, in this point, was
Dennis. Not, again, Dennis. I couldn't, it's been a while since I've seen this film, so I'm kind of rewatching it for the first time, and I was like, oh, that's right. It was the fat white dude with the computer dude.
And don't forget, it's not just him. It's also
no. That's the book. In the movie,
yes, in the movie.
No, they didn't mention it. They did, yeah.
In the beginning, remember when Dennis is sitting at the table? Who's he sitting with?
Dotson.
We got Dotson here.
We got Dotson.
Nobody cares. They got Dotson. So
Right,
Dotson, he's the one who wanted the embryos so he could start his own thing and sell the dinosaurs and make
You
millions.
see, that's what I like about the book, though, because they kind of, they went into more detail on how those two ended up, working on the island just for that specific reason, where the movie kind of just,
glosses over. Like, he's getting paid for it and he wants it, but as far as like how did they meet and why did they meet? And Dennis, man, he drawn.
Now,
Samuel in that movie was great.
Samuel.
Hold on to your butts.
Let me tell you something.
I say that every time I tell my kids we about to do something. Every time we about to do something.
I thought he was great in that movie.
I
thought it was messed up how he died, but I mean,
Dude,
I was not expecting the arm.
The book was more so getting to that detail. I was like, oh man, you're cooked. As soon as they said the shoe moved, I was like, oh, it's over. It's over.
Dude, that shit's crazy though. Like, she's there trying to catch her breath, and you just see an arm flop down on her right shoulder, and she's like, oh, thank God, it's you. The arm falls into her lap. She's like, ah.
She started screaming crazy.
And I was like, I knew he did in. I just didn't know it was to that extent.
Yeah,
Now,
all he left was his arm.
Now, one thing that still bothers me now, and I get it, it's supposed to be that ending, but come on. So Alan and Ellie and Tim and Lex, they're all right there. They're surrounded by the two velociraptors. The one's still locked in the freezer, apparently. And it's getting close. It's getting close. You don't see that big ass T-Rex right there
on the side. Like,
you don't.
He just appeared.
And he's just chilling in the window too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, how do you not see that?
How do you not see that big behind T-Rex in there, in that building, right there?
How did you not?
You see the eye.
How did you not feel it?
Come on.
Like every other part of the movie, you're watching, glasses do this, or you feel the ground shaking, the vehicle's slightly moving, and now the one time when it's right up on you, you don't see it.
You don't see it.
How?
That to me, that ending, it takes me out every time. I literally stop it right before, so I don't get mad. I'm like, oh, let's see. Damn, this was a good movie. Okay. Turn it off.
It was good until this point.
I turn it off, or I do the fast forward real fast, and I jump to the ending. But I think we covered everything about the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, man, you can literally just go watch it anywhere at this point.
Right.
So good.
Yeah, but before we get to the book, should we cover the second movie? So
that way we can just hop right into it. Lost World Jurassic Park. Has one of the best openings ever. The kid being attacked by the
my God, yo.
But then my favorite part, and I don't know why, you can call it sick humor, I don't care. When the mom screams, and it cuts to the train. And then you got Ian's like yawning. Yeah. Every time. I'm just like, this is the best opening ever. Like, no. I love that opening.
I felt bad for that kid so much because she's just like feeding the dinosaurs. She has no idea that these things are dangerous.
Yes.
Next thing you know, she gets swarmed by like 30 of them.
Well, let's talk about it. Would you let your kid just walk off on an island?
Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. You don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on at their island?
You don't know what's going on.
And she's nowhere in their sight. She's yelling, hey, you got to come see this.
That's like, you're
not in my sight.
Yeah.
Come see what? Get over here.
Yeah. Parent of the Year award goes to that lady.
Yes. Apparently, because you can't go nowhere far, especially on the island. I think they didn't even know what it was. They didn't even know what the island. They just landed.
They just landed on the island.
And
I think they did touch on that like towards the beginning of the movie. They had like a newspaper clip or something. It was like some family, and they were just stopping off on a vacation or whatever, just having lunch and.
But I'm saying the family didn't know what the island was, or what was on the island, or could have been.
Imagine if they went deeper into that island.
Oh my God, they wouldn't have made it.
Let's go on a hiking trip,
bro. Because now it's like you're not dealing with just one Tyrannosaurus. Now you're dealing with two, and they got a baby.
Yep.
And they got a baby.
And they got a baby.
But then you come across, oh look, it's a couple of eggs. Oh, we should take these back.
Yo.
No, that was the third movie.
No, I'm saying if they would have went.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we got a couple eggs. We should take these.
Yeah,
Next thing you know, you're being chased by God knows what. Like
This egg is real different. I don't know where it came from.
Is this an ostrich egg? I don't even know if ostriches live here.
Right.
What the hell is
baby
this thing?
lizard in this egg. Daddy, I think we struck gold.
We can open a petting zoo now. We can charge a fortune.
Yeah, man.
But
Pet my hybrid alligator for $10.
$10? Wow.
$10 is cheap. Woo! You have a
Well,
line.
you got to get that customer base first, and then
Then you build it up.
then
It
you
gets
start
older.
building up. Once you get
Yes.
higher inventory, you know. I mean, look at what Mr. Hammond did. You know what I mean? Like he was
for
that guy.
Yeah, no
Just to go back to the first film.
Hammond in the. You talking about the movie Hammond?
Yeah,
Because-
first film. No,
yeah,
so
okay.
if I could just touch on this real quick. My guy was feeling a little salty towards the end of the first film. He was kind of like, you know what I mean? Like he was real, like playing the really nice elderly grandpa in the beginning of the film and all that. But right towards the end, you feel he's starting to get a certain kind of way. He was like, man, I got these motherfucking paleontologists coming in here wrecking my livelihood.
Yes.
Why is it that only out of everybody I thought would be on my side, and the blood sucking lawyer is agreeing with me?
Yes.
Of all
Of all
people.
people.
Of all
Blood
people.
The people that I
That's
thought would have been the
crazy.
most excited to see, what I've created here are telling me this is a terrible idea. I mean, they were completely right, but
can you blame them? I
No.
mean, look at you know what? We should talk about the second one because here's the problem. So in the first movie, they touched on it in the second one too. You see the other island, right? But even still, the second movie does not match the book. Actually, the second movie does not match the book at all.
The
At
second
all.
movie is the first.
I gotta listen to the audiobook for the second one.
It's not even. The only thing that's the same is that RV gets slightly pushed over the edge.
I mean, I'll be honest, even bits of the first book compared to the first film, I was hearing a lot of differences.
In the second movie.
Yeah, like I was hearing a lot of differences, and I was kind of like having to remember character names and all that. I'm like, who the hell is this person they're talking about now?
But in the second movie, the things I love the most, and I loved them, the chase scenes when they're trying to capture the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, that scene was
Dude, they just looked so good. And then we got more dinosaurs being introduced in the second movie, and to see Ian of all people going back, and he said nothing can get me to go back. Oh, we got your girlfriend over there, and Hammond's going to say, "Hey, I got your girlfriend over there. You might want to go get her." Like, dude, you knew what you did,
bro. He was acting like a real Mr. Monopoly man in the beginning of the second film too.
Yes,
I
he
was
was.
like, because it's weird how their roles almost reversed. Because if you noticed how Ian was kind of the dickhead in the first film.
Now he's caring,
And now he's all, it's like, okay, you suddenly care about people and all this other stuff. I
and
mean,
then
like,
you bring your daughter with you now. Well,
Yes.
not intentionally.
She snuck on the thing.
She did- yeah, that
told
doesn't
can't
say
really,
not
you can't
intentionally.
really.
And then the Stegosaurus scene.
Oh,
Now, she said the girlfriend. Okay, now
Sarah.
Sarah. Yeah, she pissed me off. Okay, because
Sarah gotta make me
she
upset.
said we're not here to interrupt their lives, but yet
You're here.
you touch them. You 5 minutes ago you just said we're not here to interrupt their lives.
That
how
woman
they're
was
living.
making hypocritical statements left
the
and right.
whole movie, man.
She's saying how we're not interrupting her lives, but here you are stitching a baby Tyrannosaurus back together. It's like, okay, there's that. And now you got mom and dad coming after you too.
Yes, yes. And then also the daughter, she was not a help.
She made things so much worse.
made
She
things so
was
much
making
worse.
it. I think the only scene where she wasn't getting in everyone else's way was when she was up in that
The high
tower thing.
Yes.
I mean, she was scared out of her mind, and rightfully so.
Terrified. I
But
would be too. You see a whole bunch of trees
Yeah.
moving as two T-Rexes coming
Yeah.
towards you, birds flying away.
who else would respond normally to something like that?
I'll tell
She
you how I'm
realized
responding.
she
I'm
should've
staying the hell up
stayed.
there.
Yeah.
I'm not moving whatsoever.
She realized she should have stayed.
Now, could you imagine if one of those T-Rexes had decided, like, you know what? I'm gonna mess with this here tower a little bit, see what happens.
Yeah. Man. I just thought about that.
Yo.
Yeah, no.
That could have gone so far south.
First off, I want to know, how did they even test the high to know the tree was going to be able to hold it?
That's true.
I think it was one of those shot in the dark things where they were like, you know what, there is,
Well, they set it up before the rain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you know the tree was going to hold it?
you don't.
You don't really know
I think
that.
it's a flip of the coin.
It's a
It's a flip of the coin.
Because even in the book, nope, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Because in the book they test it. They did test it.
Right.
But that part was good. The getting them on the boat part kind of had me confused. I was like, all right, so you guys are getting on a boat to take them to this Los Angeles Jurassic Park.
Why, how did you? Okay, how is it that when these monster films kind of hit their peak, they always end up in L.A. or New York?
I was lost.
Never seen Diego.
I was like, of all
Never
places,
Philly.
why Los Angeles?
Yeah, and then you want to open up a park in the United States? Are you serious?
In a major city population area.
Yes.
Was it in San Diego?
San
Oh,
Diego.
Yeah.
San Diego.
Well, yeah.
Well, they said they wanted to compete with the San Diego Zoo,
San Diego Zoo.
SeaWorld, and they mentioned somewhere else. And I was like, okay, so you're going to take a captive Tyrannosaurus
Yep.
and bring it here.
and bring it here.
My favorite scene from that movie was the raptor fight when before they Vince Vaughn called
Yeah,
the
movie.
Hopper to come grab him. That was my favorite part because Kelly, which is the girl, Ian's daughter, she did this amazing thing. It's like you're fighting a known killer, and you took it out by doing a couple of gymnastic, flips. And
Oh, yeah, that
whatever
scene was
to take
great.
it out. I know you probably don't like it, but to me, I was like, this is the best part of the movie. Is this scene right here? So I liked it.
Okay. I can respect that. I can respect that.
You know he does.
I mean, it's a 200, 300 pound velociraptor being kicked by a girl that probably only weighs 120. But I understand what you're saying. I do understand.
Yeah, I think he's talking about like the moment. Now, personally, I kind of agree with Chris on this one. You're kind of like,
a velociraptor just want to sit there and just watch you do it when it can jump clearly over.
It could have.
Well, I mean, it was jumping up like, we're talking like 2 or 3 story leaps. So,
Yeah. But honestly, I can say before I put physics and weight and everything together, I did think that scene was cool. Yeah. Until I got a little older, I was like,
it doesn't make any sense.
It took me out.
Yeah,
It took me out.
but
But this was the beginning of Jurassic World doing things that you just question every single moment. Every single moment. This is where it began.
I believed I could kick a velociraptor. I mean, look, I was chubby back then. I didn't lose weight until high school.
Muldoon had a gun, and he couldn't do it.
Dune had a gun, but we're talking about a black woman
Muldoon
being able to
couldn't get
do
it done.
Olympic kicks and flips or whatever, and took out a velociraptor. And so by that, I had
Dune got ambushed. Let's just be clear. He got ambushed in the worst freaking way.
Clever
and the
girl.
word, yeah, that's like literally insulted. It's like he knows it's there. He's like, clever girl. Then you just hear him screaming.
Yeah.
Yep. Even that scene was freaking scary because, the scene, the way they did the animatronic when they got it on top of him
right
and
in
you
his
see
face.
it looking down.
It was like right in his face.
Crap. Yeah, that was the first part. Breaking through the bush.
It's in his face.
That part got me. But then the part where he goes to lean and then jumps on him, that part when it's on him, like when I froze the frame, I was just like, that is hideous.
Yeah.
That is,
Dude,
no.
and then you I think you can't really you really can't stress how powerful it is when they do those scenes where all you hear is just screams.
Yep. Yeah.
You don't see anything else. You just hear screams.
But this is where
It's like-
that's where the book came into play, and the book just nailed it. I love that book. I'm telling you, I love that book. I love that book, man. I love that book.
Dude, the opening scenes of that book were intense.
Listen. Okay. We gotta stay on this second movie. Hold on. Let's not forget about the flying, flaming truck going through the
Yo.
air.
The hunter in the second movie, the head dude in the
My favorite character.
easily.
My
That man was
favorite-
badass
Roland,
from
yes.
Roland was a badass from the time he entered the island to the time he was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I've collected my payment. I'm out of here.
I'm done.
'Cause
You
my
people
best
are
friend died.
nuts."
My best friend.
His
died.
best friend died. Yeah. So what's the point of me being here at this
Yeah.
point?
He's like, I don't even want the money.
And he
anymore.
took it down, a T-Rex down by himself with a trank gun.
2 tranks.
And
Two
he
tranks.
was far.
He
He was
didn't
far
run.
distance. Too.
He didn't run.
he
He
didn't
stood
run.
his ground. That thing was looking him like, as in the eyes, or you would assume. And he took it down with 2 tranks.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That thing had just finished slaughtering everybody else. Mm-hmm. And this dude that's like, what, in his 60s?
Yeah, 50 or 60.
50s or 60s. Yeah, he's up there. And then he didn't run. He took it down
Nah.
with 2 tranks. And then
Bull comes back and he's chilling on a stump.
the part that got me, that part.
He's chilling on a
sitting there,
stump.
they're like, oh, who took down the T-Rex? He just looked at him. He's like, "Shoot me,
He didn't
who
say a
took
word.
down the
He's-
T-Rex. He gave him that look like, shoot me. Like, it's just easy work.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, yeah, he's down. Go ahead and get the cage.
Right.
I want my payment.
Dude,
I'm like,
chilling, yeah. He's like, dude's chilling on a
What?
stump with a trank gun.
Yeah.
He's just giving this this business CEO the look. He's like,
Like it's nothing.
yeah, it's like,
It's
all right,
nothing.
it's just another day at the office.
You know what didn't make sense? The part where they're under the flood or whatever, and the
Oh,
snake,
that waterfall thing?
yeah, the waterfall,
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
snake
yeah.
gets on him. He's snake, and then just gets taken out. Like why?
Dude, why? Okay, I understand freaking out because you don't know what type of snake it is. I get it because it could have been venomous. It could have been.
But it's like you're being attacked by dinosaurs, though.
Bro, you got to suck it up and just be still.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're getting attacked by a T-Rex.
Yeah. He got
Who
his
the hell
arm back.
cares about a
Hey,
snake?
man, listen. If he would have started yelling in front of me, I'm
Yo, I would have
if
kicked
you
him out of
yell in
that
front
damn
me,
waterfall.
And it's a bear. I'm pushing you. I'm sorry. I'm pushing you.
Glad I
Hey,
got
look,
the
you know the
force.
saying, you only got to be faster than the guy running
Yeah.
next to you.
That
Yep.
is true.
Yep.
But then there's another saying that I have. If you walk next to me and you run next to me, I'm tripping you. Like, one of us is going to make it. It's not going to be both.
Sorry, Kev.
What you mean? Knowing that, I'm the opposite. I'm 10 yards away. If I trip, it's over myself, but you ain't gonna trip me. I'm making it.
Now, fun fact of the day: a wallaby will actually toss its baby as a sacrificial lamb if it's being attacked.
That's fucked up.
That's very fucked up.
Now you know.
Yes, now you know. That's very fucked up.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I would not toss my son nor my daughter for sacrificial. I'm sorry. It just
I would
won't
certainly hope not.
Yeah, I would never. But
Yo, okay, so how about that scene when they all run into that grassy field and you just see the velociraptors just kind of
grasses.
like circling on them?
happen. The fear that went through my
Dude,
body.
I was sweating watching that scene.
I knew. I remember when that movie came out. I knew. I was like, "There's no velociraptor. There's no velociraptor."
Bro, but as soon as they
Once
hit an
they
open
said
field-
tall grass,
Yo.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's done.
"No,
They're done. They're done.
Yeah, you can't. First off, you can't see shit.
No.
you can't see nothing, and you
You're
can't.
running and making noise in an open ass
and you
field
don't
with
know
tall
Where they're
grass.
coming from?
Yeah.
and you don't even want to be the first person. Because you're gonna get snatched, and then you don't want to be the second one because there might be something coming from the left or the right.
Bro, I don't
And
want to
then
be
you
the
can't
first one. I don't want to be the
one.
last person. I'd rather be the guy in the middle. You know what I'm
Even-
saying?
even
Where you kind of
Roland-
like,
yeah, even Roland's friend was like, "Don't go into the tall grass." He's yelling, "Don't go into the tall grass."
and he gets snatched.
Yeah,
He got snatched up.
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
snatched up.
probably.
He was
But
like
he was
the
right at
last
the
person to
entrance.
get snatched,
He-
or
yeah,
first
he-
person to get snatched up, right?
Yeah, and then you had the one guy.
no, he wasn't first, but
No, I'm saying like the first in the group to get snatched
yeah,
up.
yeah.
But the thing that got me was the one guy who turned around. Now that pissed me off. He turned around and he held the flashlight before it jumped, and I was like, "Dude, you could have kept running. You could have kept."
Well, you see,
running.
that's what I love about these early movies. You catch people doing dumb shit like this. It's like their MO for this type of
Yes.
for these slightly older movies.
First of
You
all-
just catch them doing dumb shit all the time.
You in the air,
You hit it perfectly.
going like you're not
Sidestep.
right.
Yes.
You all have guns.
Right.
Shoot.
Shoot!
Like-
no one was shooting in that tall
That's
grass.
what I
no
didn't
one
get.
shot.
That's what I didn't
no
get.
one shot.
Yeah.
That is true. Like they just
There wasn't
all-
a single round fired in that whole
I
scene.
think they were
flashlights.
shooting.
They
was
were waving their
flashlights.
flashlights around like crazy people.
I think they did shoot, but like it was not at something directly.
If they
was
did,
just
it was
like-
panic shooting.
Yeah, panic shooting.
where they're just, shooting into the air,
Yeah.
hoping they hit something. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
Now
wishful
they are
thinking.
coming at you with a coordinated strike.
I'll tell you this: the Velociraptors looked more terrifying.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
The colors,
yeah,
they,
definitely.
Dude, they
got
terrifying.
really creative
They
with
had
it.
the orange, the one that got me and it stayed with me. As soon as I saw it, it was like a darkish gray and had the orange on them. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
How about the one with that crest on its head?
Yes,
Like,
all of them looked so good. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, they need to bring this over. Next film, they're totally different. I was
Completely.
like, okay, they're cool, but the second one was so much better.
They look great.
Yes.
They look great. Honestly, I couldn't tell if it was CGI or animatronics. The detail was
Yes.
incredible.
Yeah. Now, not to sidetrack or going a small tangent, but the tall grass scene in Prey, the
It
Predator
reminded me of
movie,
that.
It reminded me of the Jurassic World scene where
For me, it was Predators. Not Prey, but it was
the Predators one. Yeah, I know you're
Yeah.
talking
they
about.
were. Which one?
Okay, so
it's when they
Predators-
get dropped on
Oh,
that
all of
island,
them, all
on
of
that
them. Yeah,
planet.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
And you have the Japanese dude
Yeah.
have the sword fight with the
Right.
the one Predator. That's where I kind of
It feels like just like that.
yeah.
But that part was good. This is where I got lost, though. Lost world. Yeah, well, that's damn it. Oh man. Okay.
You just blew your one and only.
Oh, you're going to clip this. You're going to.
He already know. He already.
Oh man. Okay. Damn it.
You just got clipped.
Oh man.
That's a good one. Man. That's the first thing that came to my mind when you said that. I said, "Ooh, I'm gonna use that."
As soon as you point, I was like, he's timing it. He knows. As soon as I did this, clip it. Oh
That's
man.
why I kept my mouth shut. I'm not trying to be a part of the clip.
It's too late.
But there was the part where it was right after the Velociraptor scene, and what is the dude's name? You said it earlier. He was chewing the gum. She asked for his gum to spit to
Vince
put on.
Vaughn, Nick.
Vince Vaughn.
But yeah,
And-
Vaughn.
Nick.
Nick,
Yes.
yeah, Nick.
So when Nick uses the two-way radio that's there on the island, how the hell is the power still working? Nobody's been there. That part kind of took me out right
He
there.
didn't even jumpstart the red.
He didn't do shit. All he did was turn on.
Yeah,
light
I didn't.
popped.
I had
didn't
some
understand
trouble
that.
with that too. It's like, don't y'all have like a generator system
Yeah,
that you
you
have to
gotta
like,
restart back up.
start up and everything? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at the first film, they had to go through a whole series of like button switching and
Right.
And
all
if
this other breakers and
And if that's Hammond's Island, it's not that simple.
Right.
You know that.
yeah.
So
But then Vaughn was able to hit a couple of switches and it just kicks right on.
kicked right on. And then you looked at this old paper and then you knew where you guys were. Like, it was just certain things right there took me out. I get it. Okay, yeah, they have to get rescued, so that's how it happened.
Bro, it wasn't even just that, but did you see all the vines and the foliage and the other crap that was clearly growing through these electrical systems?
Yes.
And you're telling, okay, now you're telling us that you can just start it up just by hitting a switch or
Yes,
two,
that's-
and you're gonna get an immediate response.
Pretty much the movies or the directors like, look, get over it. It's a movie. Let it go. No,
Yeah.
no,
It's-
no. We
it's
see
It's
it
the
too
little
much.
stuff like this that
it was just
like.
too much back to back right there. Like the whole
Bro, I'll be
before that-
honest. I thought Vaughn was going to leave in that helicopter. I thought he was going to basically be like, screw the other two.
That's
I'm
how I felt.
getting my ass out of
I
here.
felt, I ain't gonna hold you. I probably would have done that.
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting the hell out of here,
Dude,
man.
if I know the building's filled with like velociraptors, yeah, of course I'm leaving.
And you
I'm
still
not
got
staying.
two T-Rexes.
Yeah,
out
and
here
we got two
somewhere.
angry T-Rexes trying to find our baby. Like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I
Yeah.
ain't staying.
But they did all that. They captured the T-Rex, right? where
That's where I start losing.
where did we get where
I thought it was the end of the film after they got on that helicopter
when you see a boat coming in
at full speed.
at high speed,
Why would you stay and look at the radar?
when in your right mind? I'm not even the people on the tower. You're standing,
standing there on the
and
tower.
you're
Watching.
looking, and I can understand it. They didn't see it right away, but
Right.
they heard it was coming, right?
You know, I can compare this perfectly. So me and Kev last Sunday when we were leaving, he was dropping me off. We're on 76. There was an accident, really bad accident. Hope they did all right on the other side, the southbound lane. We're in the northbound lane, and people in our lane are driving about 40 under the speed limit, so they could stare at this. It's
I
like
hate that.
it's like
What are you getting at?
right. It's like you saw somebody having a really horrible day.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So now you hold
it's like-
everybody else up behind
right,
you for that.
Right.
Man, no, but that's honestly that's what it was.
Yeah.
But you don't see it. I get it. You hear it, but it could be all right. Maybe the boat is just delayed on slowing down. I can understand that part because it's at a distance. But you couldn't tell if you're the people standing. You really couldn't tell how fast it was coming. But the people at the tower, you freaking knew. Why didn't you warn the people down there? Say, blare the alarm. Say something.
Like,
y'all did nothing.
We're trying to reach them, but they're not listening. Y'all need to
get
out the way.
Not only
outta
that, but
here.
they had film crews. They had like a little bit of everybody involved, in this unveiling.
Yeah.
And now you've got a cargo freight liner coming into port at full speed.
I did like how one person decided to run. Like I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Ian or somebody, but
I think it was. I think
Ian.
so.
And he just ran away from the dock and got to a safe distance before it plowed into the dock. I'm still trying to figure. So I watched this YouTube video where there's I can't remember his name, but he goes over like some of the plot holes of like how did this happen, and he said because we were trying to figure out what was it that got the people on the ship, and I think he said it was a raptor that was on the ship already. And then it must have jumped off by the time it landed on the docks, because he was trying to figure out because the T-Rex couldn't have gotten everybody, especially inside.
That's what I couldn't understand. I was like, okay, how are the people inside? The area where the the control
the
room,
cockpit and all that.
yeah, and there's arms stuck on the steering, but the T-Rex is locked down below.
Right.
I was like,
Well, not just that. The whole crew is dead.
Right.
The whole crew was dead. There wasn't a single person that was still alive. And then the kicker was, you had the guy laying there, arm on the control, on the red button, holding it.
Yeah.
First off, why are you holding the button? Like that's weird. Because as soon as they removed his hand, they had to press the green button to get it to open. Right. Why are you holding the red button?
Right, and by that point, we're still under the assumption that the T-Rex is knocked out and down in the cargo area. But it's like,
I'm confused.
How could he reach, or cause all this damage inside the cockpit?
And then the whole crew,
and there's no damage. Like there's no
no broken windows,
no broken
nothing.
windows, no bent metal. Like it's just,
and then you still had the hand on the.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was a bit trippy, but I'm thinking, okay, did one of the Velociraptors get on board or something? No, it's still just the T-Rex because the baby apparently is being brought in on an airplane. So it's like, what is going on, people? There are plot holes in your story that are not adding up.
No. And then you get the whole New York thing, which I don't even want to get into that. I mean, y'all can get into it. I was done after that.
I'm here for it. Oh, 45 minutes? Golly. That was fast. Okay, let's get right into the book.
Oh, dang, that was quick.
I was going to try to talk about the third movie, but no, let's get right into the book.
Man. All right.
Dang. Time.
Okay.
Fly.
First book. I can tell you right off the back. One, I'm going to name off the things that I loved about the book. There is nothing I hate about the book because I love the book.
I mean, you made that pretty clear a little while ago, but
the kids are reversed. Timmy is older than Lexi. Lexi becomes the pain in the behind. Why? Because she's so young. But you're putting a young girl in a situation where, one, she has trauma, PTSD. She just watched her brother get thrown in a Jeep. Yes, not flipped over like in the movie. The T-Rex grabs a Jeep, throws into a tree. Just launches him in a tree so far, he lands in another dinosaur exhibit with the Stegosaurus. And he falls out of the truck to the floor, takes off his watch, says, I don't need it no more. Looks at the Stegosaurus, calls it dumb, throws up because he has a concussion, and continues to walk. What is going on here? The lawyer is this big buff guy in the book, and then his other little companion that came with him is the biggest coward. He ran into a cave. I can't stand that guy. I wish I knew his name. Ran into a cave, is screaming and hollering. There's 3 T-Rexes in this one. No, it's 2. It's 2. It's a mama and a baby, and they don't get along. One wants to kill the other one, and then
that's interesting.
You got the one guy. He's yelling. Alan says, "Hey kids, don't talk. We're gonna let this guy die." And the baby rips his freaking leg off and then shreds his face.
It was playing with it at
first.
It
was playing. It thought it was a game.
Yeah.
And
Chris, if I could go back to the movie real quick, that was probably my favorite scene at the end of the second movie was when the Papa T-Rex teaches the baby T-Rex how to hunt, and they
borrowed it.
Yeah,
I was like,
that makes sense. Makes sense. That makes sense.
They borrowed it. Yeah. But T-Rex is swimming in the river in this one. You got Lexi over here saying they can't swim. Tim calls her, "You dumb idiot." Of course they can swim. And you got that scene. You got a T-Rex over here that has a tongue like a snake. Like there was so many things. And then, oh no, I'm gonna leave Hammond for you because I know how you feel. I'm gonna leave Hammond for you. But I will say,
I was not a fan of Hammond in the book.
I felt bad about Ian because I thought he died. I thought that man died. Oh yeah, yeah. Did you finish it yet?
No, he didn't finish it.
Oh, I'm almost finished.
Oh man.
But there were. Oh my god, the scene when they're in the hatchery, and they're playing with the baby Velociraptor.
Yes.
And the one dude's like, or I think he was one of the like geneticists or something, or he's like yelling at Dr. Grant, "Stop." Like
flipping
poking, stop poking and prod. They're not meant to be poked and prodded. They're they're not used to people and all that.
Wait,
the dude keeps doing it.
I'm done. You go on your part because we don't have much time.
Yeah, the dude keeps doing it, and I was like, "Is this dude not listening? Like, what the hell's going on?" And I mean, the guy's like yelling at him at this point, and I mean, even in the audio book, he's like, "Put down the damn," and I was like, "All right, shit, okay." I mean, hell. I mean, like, damn. Yeah, so the part that I just got to was when I believe they're at the T-Rex paddock. So it's going to be right before the power attack? Cuts. It's going to be right before the attack and the dude cuts the power out.
Now, so you seen what happened to, oh my God, what is it? Dennis.
Yes.
You got to that part?
Yes.
Like his whole fatality?
Yeah. That shit was gross.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him to go.
Yeah, he had to go, though. He had to go.
But his death in the book was just like, bro.
So much worse than the movie.
You suffered. You suffered bad.
Yeah.
Like, I understand what you did was wrong, but dude.
Yeah, but he didn't deserve to go out like that.
No.
All he did was steal some embryos. I mean, shit. I mean, like, he got killed in the worst way. Like, the movie was such an
easier
watered down version of what we got in the book. Like, I'm like, I mean, at least, oh God, I mean, yeah, at least he made it to the vehicle in the movie. I mean, in the book, it was just
not a chance.
No, he didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
He didn't stand a chance.
All right.
How about you?
First, I would like to say that this whole book was like a mystery as far as like everybody's keeping secret, opening up with they don't know what, I think it was like a leg of one of the smaller dinosaurs that bit up the baby or something like that.
Yes.
They didn't know they didn't know what it was. Everybody's trying to figure out, no, well, that could have been a dinosaur because that's when and they just kept playing over and over. Oh, the one where it opens up with them being on the island, they bring the body of one of the workers to the island for the doctor to work on. Mm-hmm. And it was so much secrecy. That's what I like, the secrecy of stuff. Just like Star Wars, like the secrecy of things, of not knowing what's going on. But it's a big part later on.
Raptor.
Huh?
Raptor. That's what they kept saying.
Oh, yeah, Raptor.
Dude, that part was nuts. Like, every time they mentioned Raptor, whether it was the movie or the book, Dr. Grant started freaking out.
Yeah.
Be like, stop bringing up raptors. Stop bringing up raptors.
Yeah, they didn't even know what that was. What's that? What you doing? You say something? What you doing?
Oh, it's time?
No. We still got... What?
Yeah, I was right.
It's done? What?
No.
Yeah, why y'all confusing me? All right.
Damn.
Hammond. Hammond is a piece of trash doo-doo. and I'm happy of the outcome in the book. What happened to him in the movie? It was amazing. I cared for Hammond. I thought he was a nice guy, but it comes to find out he didn't care for his grandchildren.
What?
I did not care for your grandchildren. I think it was at a point where he was like, I don't care if they're not there or here to make it off the island. Said that. Then when the lawyer said we can, in the movie, the lawyer said we can charge them $2,000, $10,000, and he said no.
Oh yeah, I hated that guy right out of the gate.
But
as soon as I heard that.
But in the book, Hammond was saying, no, we need to charge these people and charge them an crazy amount of money to bring to get here.
Yeah, they definitely switched some stuff around.
And in my mind, when I heard that, I said, Hammond, that doesn't make any sense. If you're going to charge, first of all, you're only going to allow the rich and powerful to come in here. They are only, at best, your park is good for 5 years because not every rich and powerful is able to get there. Once that happens, 6 years onward, your park is going to decline because if you don't make it for the people who can't afford to come, then nobody's going to want to come to see your park, and then you lose out on money. And then 5 years was good, but then you're a has-been at this point. You know,
I thought it was interesting that they switched them around, or they switched it around between the movie and the book. And they made, I mean, the lawyer saying that made more sense than Hammond.
Right.
But I mean, that's just
for him to say that he was just so evil, and the way that Hammond went out. There are, I forgot what kind of dinosaurs. They're little dinosaurs.
Oh, it was the
ones that was in the second movie that
girl. They had a name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chris, do you remember those?
Which ones?
The little dinosaurs from the second film.
Copies.
That's what. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when the copies eventually got to Hammond, and I remember it because they said they had venomous bites.
Yes.
In the teeth. So when they got to Hammond, I said he's not gonna make it because they still got to get to whatever island to get. There is no antidote for
broken ankle.
Well, he had a broken ankle.
Remember, he rolled. He broke his ankle. He shattered it, so he couldn't walk. He lost his cane. So then the compies said, "Oh,
dude, the guy could barely walk to begin with. So I mean, he was already screwed."
So the compies saw, "Oh, you're weak and injured. Yeah, we eating you."
Yeah. No, because
it's like what happened to the dude in the second film. Rolled down the hill, busted his leg up or whatever. I mean, they were already like they had already decided.
Yeah.
They're like, you're.
Oh yeah, the guy that had to go pee. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just liked Hammond. I did not like him at all. At least in the book. In the movie, I looked at him. I was like, he's a good guy.
I'm still not a huge fan of him, even in the film.
Oh really?
I don't know, man.
Well, you know what?
I'm just saying we got a complete attitude change from the start of the first film to the end of the first film, and even into the beginning of the second film. Mm-hmm. Because at that point, he was like, man, I care about...
out there. You care for your girlfriend. Go. I want you to do something for me. You're going to do it regardless of not. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I'm just saying, like, we got a complete, 180 attitude change.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, man. So, how much time we looking? 5 minutes?
Well, all right. And then, listen, I'll tell you another part that is crazy. So, you have the movie, you have the book, right? Mm-hmm. But then you also have the game. The Tall Tale game of Jurassic Park plays a big part. It is canon. It goes with the book and it goes with the movie. In the movie, they do mention that John Hammond wanted to open up a hotel. He wanted to open up rides. Mm-hmm. He wanted to finish the bird.
It was right?
It wasn't finished. The pterodactyls went crazy. They were eating everything.
That shit was wild.
In the game, you see the rides that they're supposed to make. You see how it was supposed to go over the T-Rex exhibit, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's like how.
And then you see like the hotels, how they're taken over by the velociraptors. The whole game. And then they talk about the license thing. So it wasn't going to work anyway. One of the doctors got left there when the place went to hell. She talks about how she put an antidote in the water that was circling through the whole park that killed the license. So even if Wu did activate it in the movie, or he activated
it wouldn't have done anything.
It wouldn't have worked because she already cured all of them, so it wouldn't affect them. She said, "No, they're real. They deserve to be here." The girl was crazy. Like she was crazy in the game, but she is canon. You have got to play this game, or just watch on YouTube. The whole game is really on YouTube. Just watch the whole thing. That's what I did. I saved myself.
Yeah, that's wild.
But there's another dinosaur.
So she cured them of that license, not being able to survive. Without human help.
They could just do it. They could just do it, and she did that. And then there's another part where Hammond made them create this other dinosaur. It's black, it has big white eyes, and it hunts in packs, kind of like compies, but they're a little bit bigger. They're like the size of a pit bull.
Oh,
And
shit.
They work in packs, and what they do is they bite you, and they're venomous, but they keep you alive. And then they rip your chest open, and they lay eggs inside of your chest to keep your body warm, to keep the eggs warm. And then the babies get to hatch and eat you.
Why would they come up with something like this? I mean, honestly,
But Hammond said to kill it. She kept them alive in a cage. She kept them alive, and they were sneaking out of the cage and ripping these people in the game apart. Like the one dude, you see him, they're like, dude, what keeps happening to everybody? And you see him, he's laying there, he's blinking, he's looking, and he's trying to say run. And then his chest is already ripped open. You see all the eggs in there, the eggs starting to hatch. This is all in the Tall Tale game for Jurassic Park. This is canon. So yeah. But it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Well, that was about like a good hour or so of us just rambling about Jurassic Park, the book and the movie.
We didn't even get to the second book.
We didn't even get to the second book, but we definitely gonna do something, especially because the movie comes out next week. I want to give a shout outs to Famous Studios for having us back here again. I want to give a shout out to Greg or G for coming out and blessing us with his knowledge on Jurassic Park. Definitely shout out to Chris for him definitely having more knowledge and all that.
Super fan.
Super fan
right here. Me personally, I love Jurassic Park. I don't love Hammond. That's a key word right there. So, as I always say, I've been Kev, Chris been Chris, Elijah been Elijah, G's been G. Y'all been you. Let's stay in tune. Like and subscribe, y'all. Come on. We getting these videos up. Hey, let's go. What? No. Woo! Have you ever accidentally dropped your phone from a very high place?
yes.
You need to check out insert.
Bro, my kid dropped my phone from the top of the stairs.
I didn't mean to clap for that, but I was testing.
Just the quality of your phone.
The iPhone quality. It's horrible.
It failed. And
He's
It's
on the verge.
iPhone, so
Yes,
you know.
He's on the verge because he's the smallest in this daycare. So they bully him. They push him down.
Oh
They
no,
speak.
mine's just rowdy.
They were sitting on him. They were doing all type of stuff, and he eventually got fed up. So he waited for circle time to take advantage of it. So when everybody sat down, he stood
Circle
up.
time's my favorite.
And I watched it on the camera. They recorded it. Everybody sitting down. Elijah stood up, went behind the kid, took the truck, crack right beside his head.
Yo.
I'm sitting there. She's like, and he did that. Why? I said,
Bro,
"What happened
that doesn't
earlier
look
in the
like
day?"
him though. He's so chill. He's just sitting here chilling.
I'm trying to tell you, man, he's a whole other kid. He's a whole other kid.
hey, what's going on? Famous Studios, we here, baby. We live. Who we got with us?
Wait, are we recording again?
We just doing the sound check.
Oh, all right.
He said again.
He got us before.
All right, we just sound checking. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's
That
last
took
week
us
all
up.
over again.
Oh my gosh.
No.